Often people ask me, well, why don't you want to teach at college, teach in literature? And I ask myself, why would I want to do that? These students are just a year younger, and in many ways much fresher, much more open to thinking about literature in really creative, intelligent, and curious ways.
Right, so think about using one of those although or while this is happening. This is also happening.
Energy, passion, love of learning.
AP is challenging and exciting every day.
Encouraging.
AP is hard work to teach, but invigorating.
It rocks.
Intriguing.
Unlike anything you've experienced before in high school.
Never go back.
Yeah.
What I learned very quickly was that trying to pile in hundreds of texts, 25 novels, 5 plays, 17 poems, and that kind of thing.
Teachers have to be really positive about that and see AP as a journey, not just sort of the exam as the only measure of success.
I think the best advice I can give a teacher is to push the students, and then push the students, and then push the students some more.
Start the year. And I always wanted to start by having the kids engaged right away in learning, listening, speaking, and everything, rather than come in and talk about the course rules.
The best learning environment for an AP English language class is one where students are given every opportunity to explore and...
One of the problems when you give people choice, from a teacher's point of view, of course, is then, well, how do you work with close reading? How do you actually look at a passage? And what I say is, well, then we have...
AP language course is different than any other course out there because you're teaching kids how to think. That's the curriculum. It's not about the literature, it's not about what they read. They could read anything. It's about how you think about what you read.
And this idea of creating a syllabus with shorter work and different kinds of writing, it's a little bit challenging. I think
In-class writing is also an important feature of AP English Language and Composition. I think it's important that students are responding to text, sometimes through...
But to go back and give them an opportunity to read an essay by Addison, a letter by Johnson.
I focus on the rhetorical skills of persuasion. So the questions at the end of the text don't really work. You have to really make it your own course, and you have to lay it out and know it.
Books, books, books. For me, AP Literature is about reading.
There are 3 basic approaches for setting up the AP Literature program. The first would be genre.
I also like to do poetry for the comparison contrast because that's the most frequent compare and contrast assignment on the AP English Lit exam. I like to take some of the past AP Lit questions.
I usually start with Beowulf and Chaucer, and I do Oedipus and Hamlet, and I do the Romantic poets, and I love Wordsworth and Shelley.
We sing sin, we thin gin. We jazz June, we die soon. It's a useful reminder that, as Marvin Bell once said, that a short poem need not be small.
Examination has really 2 major parts. The first part, a series of passages upon which students respond to multiple choice questions. And the second part is a series of essays, actually 3 essays. Let me speak a little bit about the multiple choice.
We're given goals by knowing what skills the students will need to be successful on the test. But if we don't talk about the test, just do the kinds of things we need to do for students to be successful at that level and to be confident, I would say confidence is
one of the first strategies I would like to offer to a new teacher is that you start early and you practice often.
Everybody wants their students to do well on the test. And when the test scores come back, we're always hoping to see a generous supply of 5s and 4s, maybe the occasional 3. The fact is,
Juxtaposition involves setting 2 important elements of a text next to each other in order to highlight the particulars of each element. One example of juxtaposition.
And it's a very contemporary story, and it changes her. And then she can't go home again. She can't go back to the flower stalls at Covent Garden. She's now a new person, and what is she?
No, that's nice.
That's
Oh, go
interesting
ahead.
too. No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I'm listening to all of you about different experiences in different parts of the country. Our course, our AP language course, is also a junior level class, and interestingly,
Plain Song.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
All the King's Men.
Letter from Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr.
Jonathan Swift's Modest Proposal.
Joan Didion on self-respect, keeping a notebook, on going home.
The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien.
Empire Rising and No Country for Old Men.
Truman Capote's In Cold Blood.
A Lesson Before Dying, The Bluest Eye, The Great Gatsby even.